computer. Yes, that's the only thing with that thing. Let me see, share screen. So I'm going to share screen straight away. Share. Okay. Okay, so let's stop share. And here we are. Welcome to What Makes Your Heart Sing. And today we have very special guests from North, what was it?
Mid-North Coast.
Mid-North Coast, that was the one, in New South Wales. And this is Jo Anne Jobson, and she's got great things to tell you and share with you today, including all of her future dreams. So welcome, Jo Anne, everyone, and welcome to Jo as well. So I'll leave the floor to you, Jo, and I'll just interject whenever I want to ask you a question.
Okay. Well, I don't even know where to start.
Well, start with what you're telling me about your being in the army for 4 years. That's a big change to what you're doing now.
Yes, it absolutely is. Well, a little adventurous Jo when she was 22 from the small town of Wingham, in which I'm sitting in at the moment. We always tend to come home. I don't know what that's about. And I thought there's bigger, more exciting things out there. And I thought, wonder what the army would be like. So after working at the Snow first, I went and joined. Well,
That must
that
have
was
been exciting.
it was very exciting, very, very intense is a really good word for it.
All that training, I mean, you see training of people on the, in clips on the TV, but I mean, to actually be there and experience it, what was that like for you?
Well, I was down in Wagga at the time in July. So if you know what that is like, it is absolutely freezing cold. And we are running around in tiny little black jogging shorts, bare legs, a white t-shirt with Jobson written across the front, and told to run and leopard crawl and climb ropes and you name it. I didn't even think of the cold. You were too petrified that you were going to get in a whole lot of trouble if you said anything. So you
And
just put
soon
up
get
with it.
warm, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, through sheer adrenaline of just a bit of fear, I think, as well. It was
Yeah.
yeah, lot of heaviness.
Yes. And how was it
Yeah.
being a woman in the army? Were there many women when you joined?
Yeah, there was four, I think four platoons. Yeah. But in our there was a building and there was three floors and yeah, no, there was three platoons. And then there was our brother platoon next door in the other building.
Right.
Yes, and when we got off the bus, we had to carry our suitcase. We weren't allowed to put it on the ground at all. It had begun.
Your
A lot of
training.
swearing as well went on in there.
You were what?
A lot of swearing went on.
Oh, I
They
can
love to
imagine.
swear. Yes, yes, big eye opener.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Mm.
You hadn't met anything like that before.
No, nothing with the in your face. Yeah, a
Right.
lot of yeah, a lot of ego boosting.
Yes. And
Yes,
what did you learn in those 4 years?
that I didn't want to be there.
I can imagine. I think I'd have been gone on the first day.
Yeah, I learned a lot about looking after everyone else as well. That
Right.
it's not just about you.
So there's a
That
lot of
if
comradeship.
yes, yes, absolutely. That you stick together, get the job done together. Yeah, much like it actually should be together and
Yes.
join as one and get it all done as a group, as one. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. That was a good foundation for you.
I think so. Yes. I
Yeah.
got offered promotion while I was in there and I said, no, thank you. I'm not going to be here long enough.
Well, that was good. That must have felt good that they thought you were good enough for a promotion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good leadership qualities, but
Well
ones
done.
that I've tried to now release because they're not
Wonderful.
such good qualities, really.
Well, you've got them anyway, and they're qualities that were shown to you during that time. So, I mean, it's like they're inherent within you. So you have those leadership qualities. And from what I hear you've been doing, I mean, you've needed those and you've executed those well to do what you're doing and what you're planning. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of looking at it.
Yes,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Everything's a gift. You have to stay positive.
Yes,
Everything is a
that's
gift.
true.
All your trials and tribulations, they're all gifts, so that you learn from them. So that's
Mm.
what they say that makes the man. But I mean, you're not a man, obviously, makes the woman then the same as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
exactly. Wonderful.
yeah.
So, and tell us a little bit about your travels.
Okay, so I've always loved to explore. My mum had an address book that she stopped writing in pen and went in pencil instead for me because I was up and down the East Coast trying this, looking at that, staying there, just always wanting to experience new things and new people. Yes, I'm very adventurous.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've
So,
got that great intrepid adventurous spirit out there. So can you share a couple of
yes.
the places that you went to that you found the most adventurous, most challenging, most enlightening?
Well, the first thing that just comes to mind anyway was even though I had fun doing all those other things and learning a lot about myself actually, um, and when the money was slim, what to do. So it made me a bit more resilient and not to get all panicky about stuff. Yes, that's why it doesn't worry me that if I slept in my car, I would have all my comforts that I need. And that's not very many.
Hmm.
So during COVID, I said to Georgia and Dylan, my son and daughter, they're in their early 20s then and had their jobs, and we're all still living together on the Gold Coast. And I just said to them, you know what? I'm out. You guys do what you do here. You've got yourselves all sorted. You know how to pay rent. You know what the electricity bills look like because we'd all been doing that for so long, all sharing everything. They had their partners with them. And I said, everything that's in the house, apart from my few boxes, is yours. I'm going traveling. I'll see you at Christmas. And that was the 7th of August was my son's the 8th of August I left. So I stayed there for his birthday and then I was gone skis.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah.
they had to learn to be very as much self-sufficient as you were.
Yeah. I thought you're old enough now and you know what it's all about. So have fun.
And they did?
Yeah, I'm only a phone call away.
Yeah, and they did?
Yeah, they did. They had a really good time. At that time as well, I had organised to um, have my niece and nephew, my sister's children, they're triplets, but only two decided to come. She's got five children all up.
Right.
So Liam and Danica said, we want to come with you, Auntie Jo. We'll go fruit picking. And I said, that sounds amazing. We all got our swags, packed up Ernie, and said, let's head out. And we we're on our way. We had the best time. But you know what? They stayed 2 weeks.
That's all they could manage.
That's it. And they said, nah, this is kind of getting a bit boring, Auntie Jo. The thing is, as well, we couldn't get a fruit picking job.
Wow.
I know. I know. And we asked at the markets, we'd love to be picking. Where do we go? We went to a sign up place up in Cairns because we went that far and never heard a single thing.
Wow.
We never got to fruit pick.
I thought people were in such dire need for fruit picking.
I know. So that's what makes me think from what they say on the news to actually being on the ground and offering our services, two different stories.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if we were just wandering around the place, you could say, well, you obviously didn't find where they were doing it, but we went to the picking employment place and said, we want to be part of this. They said, sure, great. We signed everything. And no,
Oh
to
my.
this day, I never have received a phone call.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I know. So I think that's what put Liam and Danica off. They thought, well, this is great, but
We're not doing what we want to do.
yeah, so we drove back to town. So we'd met my mum and dad on the way and spent a week in Cairns with them. And we all just had a little bit of a holiday and a travel together for a minute and then did the picking side of things or attempted to. We all drove back to Townsville. I put them on the plane and I went, well, I'm staying. This is a big place. I'm just going to have a really good time. So I repacked Ernie, got him all sorted. Oh, yeah,
So
it
did you
was
live in Ernie
fantastic.
for a while?
Yeah, I did. For sadly, it lasted for 4 weeks. I had a friend come up. She spent a week with me, and we drove around up there and had a look up in Airlie and spent time. Been out to Longreach and all the rest of it. But my plans for Christmas didn't quite pan out because my um, Karen's eldest daughter needed my assistance, and all the states were closed. So
Mm.
the borders,
Yeah.
and I was in Queensland. She was in Townsville, and she was in a lot of trouble.
Uh-huh.
So my sister rang and said, "Can you get to Townsville? Kira is in dire straits." I
Mm.
won't go into the story because it's
No.
personal. So I went and picked her up and had her with me for 8 weeks back down to the Gold Coast. There goes that. There, Georgia and Dylan's freedom. Mum's not here. Our whole world's now, oh, mum's back. Yeah. So yeah, that was that. But it's not over. There's still more to come. So
Right, right.
yeah.
And this natural thing that you have for helping people, this was all encouraged and nurtured by all the things you did for family as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. You drop everything and you do what you need to do.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
people need help these days, don't
Yes.
they?
Absolutely.
And to be able to help people in any way whatsoever, especially when you're doing something you love, is very precious.
Yeah.
Would you like to share
Yeah.
a little bit about that, about who you've been helping?
Well, if we flick on over to Love, Peace, Harmony, I received the beautiful calligraphies just before I left the Gold Coast when they sold our place and we had to quickly move. And I hadn't had a chance to establish any groups, any meditation. And they were with me for about 6 or so months till I moved up to Wingham here. And I was talking to a lady saying that I was offering free meditation with these beautiful Love, Peace, Harmony calligraphies. And it's a very calming place to be. So I didn't elaborate. That's about all I said. This is when I had my soul healing business, and she was one of my clients. That was that. I moved my soul healing business to my little house here, and still hadn't found my Love, Peace, Harmony group or hall to do it in just yet. And I really was just being told, trust.
Mm-mm.
Just let it go. Stop trying to force how it's going to happen. Because
Mm.
I've been entrusted with these, the whole mind thing. And I just kept getting, no, you just sit back in your chair, sweet girl. It's all going to happen when it's going to happen. And out of the blue, I got a phone call from a beautiful woman who had just um, opened the Women's Kind Collective. Um, and she said, I have heard on the grapevine that you offer these beautiful meditations. We would love to have you on board. Is that something you're interested in? And I said, oh, of course. And I said, they're free meditations. She said, then you can come here for free. We won't charge you to have the floor space when you're here. You just thank you so much for saying yes and bringing this to our area. So I immediately had a little group. The lady that was my client, and she brought a couple of people with her, and it ended up, like I said, just the 5 women. I've had a few walk-ins and outs because people weren't ready, but these 5 women stayed on the freezing floor on yoga mats because it's an old National Australia Bank. So it's a
Right.
big, solid old building and it gets quite icy.
Yeah.
But they stayed the course with me, and I had never done this before. I had no idea. I read the manual. I'm like, okay, you know what? The calligraphies know what to do. I just open the field and let just everything be how it's going to be.
Wonderful.
And my group and myself, we grew together from brand newies together. We grew, and I shared a few experiences of my own through Master Shah, and that I offered Dow Hands blessings to everybody at the end, and they're like, what's that? I did the explanation, and then just the questions started to come. They're so open, these women from all different age groups and backgrounds. But they said, we just want to be with you. We just want to hear what you've got to
You're the
say.
messenger. You're the messenger.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
And
before all that started, backtracking, what
yes.
what what brought you to Love, Peace, Harmony? What brought you to having a soul healing business?
Um, well, I received my Dow hands. Then I spoke to Maddie and had a reading from her to say, my direction was love, peace, harmony, Guanyin lineage holder. And she said you should put in an application for the love, peace, harmony calligraphies and to become a uh, field rep at that point. And I said,
Mhm.
okay, no idea. Okay, then. And I did. And in the meantime, I'd gotten to speak to Claudia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Claudia Thompson at the
Yes.
time had I think you were on that phone call. She asked me about the application. We talked it through. She said, okay, then. And then I had heard nothing for a while. And then all of a sudden, I got the email to say, you have been approved. Wow. That was just amazing. I was tickled pink. They're the only words I could come up with. It was just such an honor. And then they arrived. Wow. And I took them just partly out of the box because they weren't set up yet. They had to have their rods and the whole piece and gluing and I just opened them up probably about half a meter and I just got this big wash and it's like, oh, and I cried. I thought, oh, wow. It was just amazing. So from then
Oh,
I did
beautiful.
talk to them. I apologized for not having them serve yet. We've grown together. The
That's
calligraphies and I have grown
wonderful. That's
together.
wonderful. Like for
Yeah.
somebody who's not been involved in anything of this nature previously, I guess, and then suddenly, whammo, you find your vocation, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did
Yeah.
that
So
feel when you realized that?
I think I'm just taking it in my stride. I've just accepted and gone, okay, okay, okay. Haven't questioned too much, just gone, I'll figure it. It'll be all right. So
That's right. And that's just having that positive attitude is really, what is can be daunting for many people who are starting out and you doing something different. But you had the trust and you had the faith that, you were being looked after. So that's really important.
absolutely. And normally because I've had a few Zoom calls with different people before, I'm usually extremely nervous and, but I things have changed in that area as well.
Yes.
I seem to just be, yeah,
But when you're
fine.
using the Love Peace Harmony calligraphies,
Mhm.
they're every time you've got them and you open them, I mean, they're having a great effect on you, like having a peaceful heart, like everything just flows more smoothly and people don't understand why this happens. They just see that they're attracted to the light that you're emanating.
Well, I have the calligraphies I am now in my friend's granny flat out near the beach. They've asked me, I gave up my little unit here because I wanted to be in my car. I wanted to get back out and I'm a minimalist.
Right.
Everybody put the whole car homelessness thing together. And I went, no, it's a home. I've had it as my home before. That's a really odd way to look at it, but okay, but it was their stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't own any of it because Ernie and I are best mates and he's looked after me and I look after him, so we're all good. But my friends went, oh no, look, come out here. It's going to be cold soon. And so I appeased them, not because I didn't want to do Ernie, but I thought, okay. So I left my bed in Ernie for quite a good while I've been out there because I was just going, no, no. I want to be in my car. But I've accepted it for now, and they need my help at their house. So I'm like, okay, I'm here till I'm not going to be here. So I'll just relax and go with this as well.
Yes,
So
that's
I'm
just
helping
trusting
them.
and going with the flow, isn't it?
That's it. The more you try and buck and move and get out of the grasp of it, you just don't bother. Just
Yeah.
let go. Just let go and be a leaf on a river. That's what I say. And just, yeah. So getting back to the calligraphies, they're in my space. They're hung. As soon as I've finished here, I generally go home, take them back out. Hello, rehang, and they're there the whole time. And I have Love Peace Harmony with Master Shah and that little player just hanging there all day and all night. And we've had before the Dow Centre Sydney closed, Stanley and I happened to, out of the little gift box, grabbed two solar speakers that
Oh,
play
the
Love
ones you
Peace
showed
Harmony.
me. Yes.
Yes, this little one, for some reason, somebody turned it off and I can't get it going again. And that's a shame. I really, really would like to, because it was serving Wingham and
Mm.
everywhere. So I'd really like to fiddle with that and get it going. But
Hmm.
I took the other one out to where I am, and it's outside in the garden, and they've got property. So the possums, the yowies, everyone, all animals and all the plants can just
What's a
benefit.
yowie?
Come on, you've never heard of a yowie?
No, what are they?
Bigfoot.
Oh, oh, oh gosh. I thought that was an American thing. Oh, we got them here.
Yes,
Oh,
most countries have them. I is it Cambodia or Thailand? One of them has it, and it's called a tek tek.
right.
Yes,
Gosh,
yes. Russia has one, not just one, and they are quite cranky over in Russia.
right. I'm not surprised.
Yes, I'm not either, but you've got to, yeah, I don't know what the history of them is, but we have them out there. Years ago at Old Bar, they couldn't give land away. At a chook raffle, people would prefer and take the chook over a parcel of land out at Old Bar. And then I was talking to other people, and everyone was always warned off, don't go out there because it's just packed full with yowies. And that's why a
Wow.
lot of people didn't want to go out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? My
Oh, I
goodness.
know. Same with Nambucca Heads. There's a ton of them in Nambucca Heads. I
This is
was
the first
talking to
time
this
I've ever
lovely.
heard of anything like this.
Oh, you have to do your research on Yowies. It's amazing. It's a real thing. It's like there's an Australian few groups on Facebook.
Wow.
I know.
There
I
you
started
go.
educating people on Yowies lately.
So this is beautiful, isn't it? I mean, to know that there are beings like that out there and you're serving them with your love, peace, harmony music out there and everything. Wow.
Yeah,
They must be getting very enlightened, I think.
I think so. And when they come on, go, rah, 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 and then they hear Master Joe and go, oh, I'm okay now. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. What other crazy experiences have you had apart from
Oh,
Yowie?
well, um, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I think that's the craziest at the moment is the Yowies.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I suppose
It is.
nobody's taken any photographs of them yet because they're very elusive, aren't they?
Well, there is footage and there has been photos taken, but they are very elusive. Very
I
elusive. And
can't
I
blame
don't
them.
blame them.
No,
No, not at all. We've left fruit out, and there was just I had about four mandarins and two apples, and I put them because there's a part of the fence that leads to the state forest behind the property,
right,
and part of the fence is pushed right down. You can see a path.
right.
I mean, it could be kangaroos. We know all of that. So, but we're having fun here. So we're going to say it's the Yowie footpath.
Okay.
So I've put a nice little pile of fruit at the base of the tree, and I really placed it like, here is a gift. And I went down a couple of days later, and there was just a couple of little mandarin peels just about a meter away from it, but that was it. There wasn't a whole big mess. It's like gone, bar about 5 or 6 pieces of the skin.
Wow.
Mind you, it could have been a possum as well.
Well, no
But
matter
we're,
what, it's some beautiful creature out there that is God's creature,
yes,
whatever it is,
absolutely. So,
and probably really appreciating the offering.
yes. Well, apparently they jumped the fences in Nambucca to get to the fruit trees in people's yards. So
Oh,
the little fruit offering was like, yeah,
so you haven't
probably
got
what
any
they
fruit
needed.
trees where you are then?
Yes, we do. The oranges are just coming on. I can just walk down from my little door on the gravel driveway to Ellen and Ian's, and I can grab an orange off the tree as I go. Yeah. So
Right.
it's just beautiful.
You're living
Yeah.
off the land.
Yes, and we're about to put in a garden. And a lady told me yesterday that she's found a really good idea. You put copper wire around a stick, stick the stick into the ground by about that far with the copper wire a little bit deeper down in, poke it in, and the wire comes up and sticks up that much past the top of the stick, and it sends some nice current through, and her veggies, with the section that she's got the stick and the section that she doesn't, these veggies are flourishing.
Wow.
Mind you, she plays low piece harmony in her yard as well. And the other garden isn't doing as well as that one with the copper.
When you're giving us such great tips, such great ideas for our gardens, I must say I'm not blessed with green thumbs.
Well, try that and you might not have to be.
Mm. I did last year. I grew some tomatoes for the first time, and there were masses of bunches, and it was heavy, but they disappeared overnight. And my girlfriend had been telling me that the rats had been at hers in her house further, in the next sort of suburb across. And so I
Okay.
think that the rats had had a good feed, and they'd taken them all the nice big
Oh,
green juicy, but they were green ones, and
okay.
they weren't ripe yet. And so I ended up having to pull out the tomato bush because it was just
Yeah.
being eaten by the rats.
Yeah. That's a shame.
It was a shame. I have had success with hibiscus bushes though. I've got some hibiscus bushes that yeah, and this is down in Melbourne, so it's freezing down here. So we've even got one that's just flowered this week, which is a miracle, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because it's
Yes.
so cold.
Wow.
Yes. So, and
That's, yeah.
sometimes the flowers are so big, they're like dinner plates, beautiful.
What color?
Oh, that particular one is a yellow, and there's like still
Oh,
lots of buds on it now. And then we have a lovely double pink, which comes out. And then we've got a couple of other little bushes. But they like the sun, but we haven't had that much lately.
mm,
And
mm.
and we have to watch the frost. Sometimes you get all the black from the frost on the leaves. So
Oh,
they don't like
okay.
the cold that much. But
Yeah.
I have a little treasure that I use. It's called Mother Earth Jindan, and you bless your garden, by saying your prayer and chanting for the plants. And I think that saved a lot of it.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you for
Apart.
the handy tip. Yes.
Yes. Have you received love Mother Earth Jindan?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe next time you talk to some of the masters, they might know. They might.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I might have to, you'll have to text me because by the time this is over, I'll be going, Mother. Yeah.
Exactly. So tell us about your future plans.
Okay. Well, I've got an inkling that perhaps I'm to talk to a lady in Tari at the Tari Wellness Centre and see if I can rent a room off her just 1 day a week. Because when I got a hold of some of my previous clients, they were still in need. And because I closed everything, even the name of my business, I just let the whole thing go. So I'm going to be doing that somehow, some way. I think that's my next step. And then I'm going to cover obviously the spiritual side of it. I'll be offering spinal flow and access consciousness
Oh, tell me
bars.
about that in a moment. I've heard about the spinal flow.
Okay. And the Dow Hands blessings. But now I'm also a partner with these beautiful whole food products from Juice Plus.
Right,
From growing to dehydration to capsule. That's it. With the fructose taken out and most of the water. And that's it. The pretty pure stuff. So that's fruit, veg, berries, and omegas, which is not fish. It's specially grown algae there as well.
right.
So, and it's all non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, and absolutely fabulous. So that's going to be the physical side and the health side that I can offer if that's needed by anybody
Yes.
in my new business. So it's very exciting. Yes.
So what are you going
Now,
to do with Ernie? Where are you going to travel to? Just in that whole district?
yeah, I'm not sure. I did pick up this beautiful book yesterday that allows you to, it has all the areas that you can take your pet. There's motels that they can stay in with you, and dog's day out or pet days. Then they give you all these different ideas that you can go and take your dog on an adventure that's all about your dog,
Yeah.
not
Have you got a dog? Have
not
you got an animal with you?
I do. She's inside. She's such a little beauty. Lacey, she's just so cute. Yeah, she's a real card.
All right.
And I've missed her because I've been on the Gold Coast the last couple of days. So, yeah, so I picked that up and I thought, well, even if they're just little weekend trips or a weekend, or whatever, she gets to come too, but it's about her as well, not about me and trying to fit her in. This book is all about you and your pets and
Wow.
traveling. And it's about $25 from Kmart. I can't remember the name of it, which is a shame,
Right.
but it's great. And all through, it just has all the different places you can go, and your animal is absolutely welcome.
Wow.
I
Wow.
love that.
Yes,
So,
I wish in a way, because we've got two male cats and we had to take them to the local cat conservatory to that was their hotel when we went had a break recently. And but you know, until you're aware that there are places that people can take animals, you don't really account for that.
no,
Because some cats, I mean, I wish in a way that I'd have got my cats used to a harness when they were young.
yes.
Because I actually met a couple of people who take their little cats out for a walk, but my boys put them on a harness and they wriggle their way out of them. So
Oh,
so that's a bit tricky. And because we live
yeah.
right next to a railway line, we can't let them
Oh,
have free range. When we got
yeah.
them, my husband built a run for them, so they've got the space like with the tall part for like a cat
Ah,
tower, and then
yes.
a part for them running around. So, and if we let them out, we have to have the harness on them just in the garden because they'll be over the fence in no time. We lost a cat once through that, through with the railway line being so close.
Well, I didn't realize, but on tops of fences, you can get rollers.
I've
So
heard
when
that.
the cat, yeah, when the cat jumps up to try and and they
Ah,
can't get any leverage because it just rolls like
right.
that, and they just, yeah, that's it. Unless they make a big clean sweep, which I doubt very much,
Mm,
it
mm.
ends up they just get
They
dropped
get
back into
they
the
fall
yard.
back.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how good it is. So,
Well,
but
my
of
one of my cats is a little Houdini because we had to put
course,
bolts on the door because he would get his paw through the wire, through the wire, and he would be worrying the. We had just a little snip, the sort you just clip on,
yes.
and off that'd be gone, and he'd be out through the. They've got a couple of gates on their run, and he would get out. He would escape. And you can see him now, when you after you've emptied the tray and you put the bolt back, he's out there with his paw trying to undo the bolt. It's quite funny, really. They're characters, yeah. I should have called him that one Houdini.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Rename.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny. One is they're both. I think they're of what's that? Russian blue descent. I think they're
Oh,
brothers. And
oh,
one is very short hair and long, and he's a solid cat. He's the alpha male. The other one looks like a girl. It's very soft and feminine, long coat, like a Persian,
oh,
but the same
wow.
coloring, same markings and everything, same litter.
They sound beautiful.
Oh, they are, but they're so
Yeah,
cheeky. I mean,
of
we get such
course.
joy out of them, except when we have to put them in their boxes to take them to the vet, and then they completely freak out because they know where they're going. They don't like going to the vet.
I don't think any animal does.
No, no.
It's,
And they
yeah.
just howl all the way in the car to the vet, and
Oh,
we
no.
take them in, and they say the vet people say, "Oh, we could hear them when we were in where they were in their rooms, we could hear our cats yowling and go, "Meow."
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, they must just be able to smell it because all animals go, whoa, when they go into the door. I know
Yeah,
Lacey goes, no, I'm out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she starts to shake. So she
Yeah,
hasn't had a bad experience, but they can s- sense what's happening.
yes, I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's very true. It's like
Mm.
like people. I was talking to somebody recently about their child had to be taken to hospital in an emergency situation when they were tiny, and even now the child, has those traumatic memories somewhere lodged inside still from that visit
Okay.
to have surgery.
Wow.
And it's like
Yeah.
years ago, I had to have surgery. I had to have a kidney stone taken out. And after I'd finished all of that and come out of hospital, the hospital had an open day. And so I thought, oh, I'll go and have a look at the open day. As soon as I got in the operating theatre part, my body started to shake because that memory was there of being there and being operated on. It was very interesting. Took a while
Wow.
to disengage from that trauma in the body. So even
Yeah.
though you're out for the count, it doesn't mean to say that your body doesn't remember because your consciousness just doesn't sleep; it stays awake. So it was
Yeah.
like shaking. That
Wow.
must happen to a lot of
Gee.
people, but they don't realize what it is. It's just that what it's like with negative memories; they just sit in the body
Yes.
until it's
Yes.
they're removed. Now, what was it I asked you to remind? Oh, yes, the that technique that you use for the spinal.
Spinal flow.
Yes.
Yes.
I've
Um,
seen some videos on that where the spine is actually moving of its own accord and that when the energy is
yeah.
being released.
Yeah, the spinal wave. That's another way of releasing blockages as well.
Yes,
It's yeah, you touch down on the tailbone pretty much, the
yes,
little invisible holes there.
yes,
That's where it all happens. So you just gently touch on there, and like you're fully clothed. You don't have to take
yes, yes,
anything off. You just have your nice warm socks on and all comfy, and you just lay on your belly, and you just go somewhere. I've had it
yes.
lots of times. And the message just goes up to the brain, comes back and goes, oh, hang on, we've got a little something we need to work on. And away it goes.
Yes.
As we know, the body knows how to heal,
Absolutely, given the opportunity, yes.
given the
Is it
opportunity.
is it a
So
bit like craniosacral therapy?
I have heard of that, but I've not known what that's about. I think there's a few things do overlap. They're
Yes.
just called different things. People add a little something and then rename it something else, but pretty much they're all the same thing. They
Yes.
really, really are. Yeah. So,
Yes.
chiropractor Carly Axford came up with spinal flow. Yeah, and
Right.
she was able to oh, what's the word? Prevent 80% of back surgeries when she was in the Texas Back Hospital
Right.
as a practitioner. Yeah, she was able to prevent 80%
Wow, that's
using
amazing.
spinal
Yes.
flow. Yeah,
But she was just probably
absolutely.
connecting with the field and everything like that, with the
Yeah.
biofield, the quantum
Mm,
field of the body. Wow, yes. Yes,
yeah. So
amazing. It's amazing
yeah.
what magic there is out in the world, isn't it, to self-heal?
Yes, and people, if they want it, um, yeah, they just need to be open. But I've found a lot of people aren't ready.
I think there's fear involved in a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the minute they feel that change and it's a good change, they're not themselves anymore and this isn't right and they just want to go back to where they were and leave me alone. So I had a lot of that, people just saying, "Oh, look, I'm not coming back for my next one. I just thought I'd ring you and not reschedule." And it's like,
Mm.
okay, it was only the odd rare person that was a repeater.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
interesting.
But
Yeah.
I made it about me initially, thinking, did I
Mm.
say something? Did I do something? But you've got to ask yourself those questions anyway, not to for the ego side of it, but just to for your own kind of feedback. Um, just being aware of your demeanor. Were you happy? Did you say too much? Maybe you need to read your audience because this was all brand new to me to do that as well.
Yes.
So I'm all in,
How
get
long
on with
ago
it.
was this when you did the spinal flow?
I've been a spinal flow practitioner for about 3 years, and
Right.
I started my business probably about August last year and finished in December because I
Right.
didn't really have the proper space to do it. When
And you
I did,
need
it
that, don't
was
you?
you do. I did have a lovely space, but um, without the clientele, I was paying rent for nothing. And I thought, no, this just isn't going to work. It's good money
Mm.
down the drain. So I decided when I moved in here, I'd do it here. But it was one bedroom, one lounge room, your kitchen. So when people came in, it was into actually my home,
Mm.
my space that should be my energy and my family's energy, but it's everybody else's tears and whatever they were bringing in. I just
Mm.
thought, this is not working. Yeah. So I just went boom. And I thought that was going to be that, but I've had little whispers that perhaps it's not.
No, I'm sure when the time is right and the right place comes along, the right energy comes along, I'm sure it's the right thing for you.
Well, all of a sudden I'm playing catch up because that's what happens and it's begun and I'm all of a sudden doing something. It's like, oh, okay, I'm here. It's like I'm just like my soul's leading and my physical self's going, okay, where are we going? All right, then. Okay. That's how it feels a lot of the time that I'm just all of a sudden aware of, oh, okay, we're doing this now. All right.
Following the Dharma, following the
Yes, yes,
Dharma.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
letting
try
go.
not to, yeah, that's key. And I have to, as we all do, keep reminding ourselves, don't worry about it. It's all going to be okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Trust,
Yes.
have faith and belief that there's a greater power out there and it's guiding you if you allow it to.
Yes. And the more you let go, the more they can go and do that maneuvering, and you're going, okay, all right. And it's just happening. And that's really such a good feeling. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it
just going
really
with the
is.
flow, isn't it? Going with the flow of life.
Well, yeah, you're not forcing anything, and that's good in all areas of your life because it's not going to work if you're trying to force a relationship like a partner to stay with you or force your children to do something or yeah, we've all forced something and then most of the time it breaks or you hurt yourself
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah,
So you got to really just, I guess, realize surrender.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
So, what would you give it if you were to give a message to all the listeners? What would be the message that you would give them?
Breathe a nice big deep breath. Just smile. Just keep telling yourself this is all good. It's all good. Even with the challenges, it's all good. Just keep smiling because it makes those challenges not so big. If you just go,
Exactly.
okay, and accept it, thank you. I see that now. Right.
Right.
And just, yeah, just
So
enjoy.
how long are you planning to stay where you are now? Are you any plans or
I don't try and make plans anymore. It doesn't work. It really doesn't. He has the plan. And we know that that just, yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Have an idea of where you'd like to go. And if it's feeling really like, yeah, then that's probably the place you're supposed to be heading. But if that little sort of resistance, yeah, I'll push a bit harder. Oh no, it's big resistance. Okay, then that's probably not the path.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
This was fun.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed. I enjoyed it too because you're so refreshingly different because you're just so laid back. So it just really makes it all so easy. And to
Thank
have
you.
that fun. Would you like to offer a little meditation or something before we finish?
A, a, a blessing or something? Is that what you mean?
If you want, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll leave it to
Yeah.
you. Over to you.
Thank you. So, whoever is watching the little replay or on now, just everybody just totally relax. Feel those feel goods and just think of something that you would really love to have transformed, changed, that you're having any little dramas with, big dramas with. Just ask for that to please be transformed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send it lots of love and light, accept it, and just relax. And it'll be a lovely, silent 1 minute blessing. Just imagine golden light coming in to your whole body. Blessing begins. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was so beautiful. I could just feel the light waves just floating through the whole body and floating in the room. And it's just so beautiful. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure having you here on the
Thank you.
show. And I know what makes your heart sing. It's giving of service, which is what you do. And that's really beautiful. So I'm sure you'd like to come along another time when you've done a little bit more of what you want to do and you can share with us again. That
Love
would be
to.
really lovely. Yes, it's such a pleasure having you on the show. So bye-bye for now, and
Thank
we'll
you.
speak soon. So love you. You can
Love
just stay
you.
on for a bit longer. I'm just going to
Okay.
turn off the recording. Okay.